Knowing about citizen and state function and role is very important nowadays because as we know the state and the citizen it's connected each other. So I'm Zalfan Adisaki and let's talk about roles and functions of citizens and the state. First, let's start with the definition of citizen. The simple definition of the citizen is a person who is the member of the country. Citizens have rights and responsibilities. Next, let's talk about this about the right and responsibilities of the citizens. Okay, start with the rights of the citizens. Three rights of the citizens. First is the freedom, second is the equality before the law, and the third is the work, have family, and decent living. Freedom. Citizens have a freedom to do what they want as long as it's not violate the law and the norms. The equality before the law, citizen has an equal standing before the law. So it's not that one citizen and maybe the second citizen is different. So everything is equal. Work and have family and decent living. Citizens have a right to work so they can develop their life and have families after they become prosperous. If the citizens have rights, they of course also have responsibilities. So let's talk about the responsibilities of the citizen. First is defend his own life. So the citizen must be able to maintain their life and seek the meaning of life so they can live decently. Second is obeying the law and regulation. As a citizen, we need to obeying the law and regulation. This is need to do because to ensure they not interfere and harm others people rights. And the last is the pay taxes. So the citizen should pay taxes such as VAT, income article as a contribution to the country. So when we talk about citizen rights and responsibilities, it will be connected with the citizen roles. So let's talk about the citizen's role. First is the participating in election. In democracy country, election is if very important event because in the election days we choose the leader of the country. So the leader of the country will determine the direction of the country goals. That's why in election days the participation from the citizen is very important. Second is fostering unity. So as we know in Indonesia we have Bhinneka Tunggal Ika or we can say it Indonesian national motto. This is represent the importance of unity in Indonesia, especially in dealing with the diversity of Indonesia, which is it's like a characteristic of Indonesia itself. So fostering the unity is very important in Indonesia. The last one is respecting the law. So every citizen must respecting the law so as not to damage the rights of others people. After we talk about the citizens, let's talk about the state itself. So first we want to talk about state function. So not only the citizen, of course, the state are also have their function. So what is the state function actually? First, let's talk about the ensuring security. I divided it with the two types. The first is internal security and the second is external security. Internal security is like the state monitors law and order by enforcing the laws protecting citizen rights and preventing crime. And the external security is like the state should defend its territory and gain external threats like the internal is focusing on the citizens itself, on the internal of the country, and the external is focusing on the threats out from outside of the country. Next, let's talk about the providing education. The state should be able to manage the human resources so they can give a positive outcome to the state and can guarantee their own life. This can be done by the state by guaranteeing universal access, good human development, and educating civic responsibilities. And the last function of the state is the promoting welfare. The state must be able to guarantee the welfare of its citizens by focusing on things such as health care services, social safety nets, economic development, and environmental protection. So when we talk about the state, it's like we talk about how the state control or address the national issue. So I have the example. It's like the about the increasing of PPN or VAT to 12%. Actually, this law was approved in 2021, which at that time the law said that in January 2025, VAT or PPN will increase to 12%. However, approaching 2025, the public rejected it so that the government didn't increase the VAT. From this case of study, this show that the state has an obligation to listen to the complaints of its citizens. So the policies that made by the government do not burden the citizens. So after we talk about the citizens and the state, the conclusion is understanding the citizenship and our role as a citizen and understanding the state function also it's very important because that we can understand our rights and responsibilities as a citizen so that we can become a good citizens and be useful to others and the country itself.